Okay, this is part 2. This was a bad lens that the Crazy Viking got. I'm shipping him some lenses to Norway. Hey, what's happening? As I said, it had two issues. It had an issue with dried grease in the helicoid of the barrel, and as you can see here, it had been dropped on the concrete. Those are obvious concrete marks. To get these screws back in, I had to turn the video off, obviously, so I dropped them in with some tweezers, re-screwed them back together, and then of course 3 screws on your silver ring here. 1, 2, 3. Also, I forgot to mention that I put Teflon grease. You can buy a tube of this online for $4. It's Teflon based. If it gets on your lens, I mean, you're going to clean your lens ultimately after you put it back together, but it's Teflon based grease. It won't mess with the lens or its coating. I'm warning you, if you dare try to do this, you're going to have a shitstorm trying to get back together. Okay? I've done this a bunch of times before. The lens is still stiff. I knocked out most of the dent. I mean, before, it literally took 2 hands to be able to move the lens elements in and out. I did take the lenses. There was a tremendous amount of dust in the lens. This is the little aperture right here. I can open up with my finger. Tremendous amount of dust in the lens. I will not show you how to take this apart because it is a screw. I don't want to incur the wrath of anybody here on taking your primary lenses apart and removing dust or fungus. Of course, you can move mild fungus without an issue. Heavy fungus will have etched the glass and destroyed it permanently. But from the factory, I also removed this. I'm going to reapply it here soon. There's a tremendous amount of grease right here and in the aluminum helical of the barrel element. Of course, we had 6 screws here, 13 total on this lens. 3 and 3, 6. And then another 4 on your lens stops, which stop here. I want to make that in a 3-part series. Go on to the next section. But as you can see here, we've got the focus ring. Here we have our 5 elements comprising the 50mm 1/8, and this lens was just bastardly stiff before. It was just insanely stiff. Now it is usable, but it's still stiff. You can see the tension I'm having to use to drag it in and out of the helical. There's still a bend in there. I do need to re-grease it. I'm just showing this as a test. Before I put this back together, what I'm going to do is I'm going to apply a copious amount, basically like 5 drops, and then smear it along with my finger there. Another 5 drops here along the threads of the 5 element section here. And this had tremendous amount of dust in it before. Right now it's very dirty looking. That's not haze. I think that's where I got a fingerprint of oil on the lens. Right now it doesn't matter for me to touch it. I'm going to clean it ultimately here in a minute anyway. So that's not haze. That's actually just the fingerprint of oil smear. Took it apart. I removed the tremendous amount of dust inside. I removed about 70% of the dent from the barrel. So now it is not only clear, it is optically perfect and clear. Well, not super perfect, but before it was 65% or so, but now it's, 95%. It's awesome. It just looks dirty. I'm going to clean it. And next I'm going to turn the camera off. I'm going to apply copious amounts of grease in here. And then I'll put this together, and then I'll go on to step 3. And I'm warning you, if you try to do this on your own, I will assure you, you will fuck the lens up. I'm giving you a warning because I don't want any one of you complaining or bitching to me about you taking your lens apart, not being able to get it back together, and that, it's my fault for making this video. Don't do that, because this is tough stuff. You think, well, I repair cars. Like, this is totally different. this isn't a very complicated lens, but this is still like pocket watch work. It's like, well, I can fix and no, this is a totally different level of doing that. And getting the lens stops back together in the right place is tough stuff. Okay, so right now I'm going to grease and reapply these 2 sections, and then we'll make a 3rd video.